Religion. When you hear this word in school, it can sound controversial or exciting in terms of this setting. At our school, we have an incredible amount of diversity when it comes to our cultural makeup. And as a result, we have a variety of religions present in a classroom as well. Some of you know exactly what religion you believe. Some of you may not be quite sure what you believe. Some of you have family members who practice one religion and family members who practice another one. Some of you may not even be sure what you believe. What's true around the world is that everybody has beliefs, whether it's atheism, which is the belief that there isn't a God, agnosticism, which is the belief that there could be a God, but not quite being certain or sure that that can be proven either. Or you may also just have a particular religion, a set religion where you follow the best you can whatever your family's beliefs are or whatever religion your family practices. You may have a combination or an assimilation of different religions altogether. One thing is true, we all have things that we believe. Well, to begin our discussion today, we'll be exploring and opening up the conversation about religion to understand the world more fully. Religions are an underlying, beneath the surface type of influence for many historical events. They can influence policies, laws, politics, and more. So while religion may seem like a daunting word, we're excited to be able to open up this discussion and to hear about and teach you all how to learn about world religions, how to talk to one another about your religions. Learning about other religions doesn't mean that you have to practice the things that you hear. Learning about a religion, what that looks like is knowing the words and knowing the vocabulary associated with different beliefs so that you can have intellectual conversations and learn more about people who are different than you or who may think or dress or even believe things that may be different from you. Some of you would be able to tell the whole class about the religion that you practice. Some of you would even be able to have deep discussions about why you believe what you believe. And we could all learn from you about your beliefs. And that's exciting. But we're going to start with just some of the basics. So, here we go. Culture includes so many different things. An analogy that people use for culture is an iceberg, that there's so much more to each of us that's beneath the surface. And there's pieces of us that people can see, like the clothes that we wear or the food that we eat or the actions or behaviors that we have. But a lot of who we are lies beneath the surface, and we can't just tell by looking at somebody what they believe. So, what is religion? According to Merriam's dictionary, religion is the belief in and worship of a god or gods, a system of beliefs and practices. Because people can practice religions in a variety of ways, an analogy people use for this is that all religions can kind of fall into an umbrella. People may have very strong, strict beliefs. People who have strict beliefs will follow everything that they can about their religion very closely, all day, every day, to the best of their ability. When people try and follow every detail about a religion, this will often impact the clothes that they wear, the food that they eat, the books that they read, the holidays that they'll celebrate, and the customs that they have. People may also be more casual believers. So on the umbrella, they might fall into a different category, but still say that they practice the same religion. Casual believers will practice a religion every now and again. In the situation where somebody is a casual believer, or they only practice it sometimes, you may not see anything particularly on the outside of their behaviors that say what religion that they have. So you may have to ask them what they believe. They may land somewhere also on either side of the extreme. So you've got the extreme where they're very strict about their beliefs and they try and follow everything that they can every day. On the other spectrum, you have people who practice it more liberally or less often, but it's still a part of who they are and what they believe. And then you've got all kinds of in-between sections in the middle. So people can land on any side of all varying degrees of practicing a religion. So when someone says that they practice a religion, it can also mean a variety of things. So when we talk about religions today and the variety of options that people can practice within these religions, we're just going to look at the whole umbrella itself, the whole basic ideas of these religions. The oldest documented religions on the planet, meaning that they have the oldest dating artifact, like a stone wall, a drawing, a carving, or a book, are polytheistic religions. Polytheism means that they have a belief in many gods. Hinduism, which you guys will get to learn about more next year, has one of the oldest dating books in all of history, called the Vedas, and different parts of that have different dates, but it is one of the oldest books in the entire world. That means it's one of the oldest documented religions in the entire world. This religion influences a large part of India and Asia, so you will learn about this religion more next year, but we like to mention it because there are so many students at our school that practice Hinduism. The three major or the most common religions in Europe are the ones that we're going to focus on this unit. And the three most common or most prevalent religions found in European history are Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. Each of these religions play a significant role in European historical events, and their similarities and their clashes and their differences help shine light on why some events in history have deeper emotional effects on cultures. So today we are going to explore the major European religions to learn more about the culture and how it's impacted history. As we go through this presentation, you will want to fill out your major faiths of Europe chart. That way you'll be able to compare and contrast and see the similarities and the differences found between the major European religions, which are Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. Today you will hear from Mr. Aaron, Mr. Trippy, and Mr. Wald to talk to you guys about these three religions.
Hello, I'm Mr. Wald, and I'm going to be talking about Judaism, which is the oldest monotheistic religion. Monotheism means that this religion believes in only one God. People who practice Judaism are called Jews or Jewish. Jewish can be both an ethnicity and a religion. People can culturally or ethnically be Jewish, but not practice the religion. People who practice the religion can practice Judaism in a variety of ways. This religion is the first one in history that is documented to say that there is only one God. So, one of its significance is that it is the first monotheistic religion, which means that they are the first ones to have written down that there is only one God. Many religions that have developed after this use many pieces of its history. The house of worship for Judaism is called a synagogue or a temple. The holy book of Judaism is called the Torah or the Talmud. The founder of Judaism is a man named Abraham. Abraham is found in all three of the European religions, Christianity, Islam, and Judaism. Judaism isn't necessarily one of the most commonly practiced religions in Europe, mostly due to historical reasons, but it is practiced in many countries in Europe, like France, the United Kingdom, Russia, Poland, the Ukraine, and other parts of the former Soviet Union. During the late 1930s and mostly during the 1940s, many Jews were persecuted in Nazi Germany. Following the end of World War II and after the Holocaust occurred, the United Nations recreated a country called Israel. Israel was created to be a place for people to return who were Jewish. This was and still is a controversial decision because it impacts people who practice many different religions, and those were asked to leave their homes without much notice. The land found in Israel has been fought over more than a millennium, not just centuries, a millennium. Some holy cities or important places in the Jewish faith is Jerusalem. Some Jewish holidays include Passover, Rosh Hashanah, which is actually Jewish New Year, Yom Kippur, and Hanukkah. Thanks for watching!
Now that you've learned about Judaism, I'm Mr. Trippy, and I'm going to walk you through the main ideas of Christianity. People who practice Christianity are called Christians. Christianity can be practiced by anyone of any ethnicity. This may be one of the reasons why the religion is the most practiced one in the world. It's significant in history because it's the religion in the world with the most followers. People who practice this religion can practice it in a variety of ways. The most common types of Christianity are Catholic and Protestant. A Protestant church is any non-Catholic church. Many times they're named Baptist, Methodist, Lutheran, Presbyterian, and so forth. People who practice Christianity worship in a place called a church. The holy books of this religion are found in a Bible, which is made up of the Old Testament books and the New Testament books. The Old Testament books of Christianity come from Judaism because Christianity builds on Judaism. So Judaism and Christianity have a lot in common. The main difference in Judaism and Christianity is that Judaism teaches that Jesus was only a good teacher. Christianity believes that Jesus is a man who was also the Son of God. Jesus is kind of the founder of Christianity, which is who the New Testament in the Bible is about. Because this is the most practiced religion in the world, it is popular on every continent. In Europe, the Catholic form of Christianity is found in places that follow the Pope as leader of the church, like Italy, France, Spain, and places colonized by these countries. Protestant Christianity is found in places like Germany and the United Kingdom, and places that were colonized by the United Kingdom. The holidays celebrated by Christians are Christmas and Easter, although these holidays may be celebrated with different traditions and customs in different parts of the world.
Hey, I'm here to talk to you about the next major European religion, Islam. People who practice Islam are called Muslims. Islam is another monotheistic religion that believes that there is only one God, Allah, and that Muhammad is his prophet. Muhammad is the founder of Islam. He is known for helping create the holy book of Islam called the Quran. Now, that book has a lot of different spellings in English because it's originally an Arabic word that has a different alphabet altogether. Muslims, which are people who practice Islam again, go to worship at a building called a mosque. This is a significant religion in Europe and in the world because it's the second largest practiced religion in the whole world. And it's also the fastest growing religion in the world. People who practice Islam are found all over the globe because it's the second largest religion and the fastest growing religion. The most important city to the people who practice Islam is the city of Mecca. The main places where the populations are the highest for practicing Islam are in the Middle East and in Northern Africa. In Europe, Muslim populations are highest in France, Germany, and the United Kingdom, and in places like Albania, Turkey, and Bosnia. A few holidays or celebrations in Islam include Ramadan, which is a month of fasting in honor of replenishing and renewing the soul through fasting and praying, Eid al-Fitr, which marks the end of Ramadan, and Eid al-Adha. As a side note, translating languages, books, and words from one language to another can be a pretty tricky process. Transliteration is a term that refers to when you write words or letters in the characters or sounds of another alphabet because there isn't a word in that other language that exists for what you're trying to say. Transliteration sounds like a fancy term, but it's one of the reasons that there can be many different spellings of a word for years or even decades until it settles on an official spelling. Many of these examples may seem silly to you, but for example, take the word tsunami. This is a Japanese word which if you've never seen how it's spelled, you might hear it with English ears and say that it's spelled tsunami or tsunami. Or maybe you could take names, for instance. The name Rashika in English. It can be Rashika or Rashika or Rashika. Or another popular food that I enjoy is the food pad thai. To an English speaker, it could be pad thai, pad thai. The reason this matters is that some religions have been translated into English for longer amounts of time than others. Jewish and Christian holy books and their words have been written and translated into English for a much longer time than Arabic words, so they have accepted and official spellings. The Quran, which is written in Arabic, has been translated the least amount of time, so official ways of spelling many of the words still have a number of ways that you can find it in different sources. So many of the Arabic words, which is the primary language of Islam, are words that are still developing their official spellings in English. You may see its holy book spelled in these different ways. While Quran, Quran, is the way I've seen it spelled most commonly, these are all the same thing, the Quran.
So today you've learned the basics, or an oversimplified lesson about the major European religions, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. Some things you may have noticed that they have in common is that they were all originated or started in the Middle East. All three are monotheistic, or they believe in one God. All three have similar historical events that are recorded in different languages, including the original versions and information being in Arabic or in Hebrew that have been translated into English. These religions also have a lot of differences, like the names of their places of worship, their followers, their holy books, and more. So now's the time for you to practice this vocabulary over the European culture and the differences between the religions. Have a great day.